Hello viewers, and welcome to another segment of Possibilities with Esther. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time, as usual, I like to tell you what Possibilities with Esther is all about. It's a program specially designed to channel your mindset into the possibilities of life, and we bring guests. We talk about mindset, we talk about self-development, forgiveness, and so many other topics that will help you carry on the day and your life in general. And last week we had a special guest. Today we also have a special guest all the way from Nigeria, and we are going into the entertainment aspects. Everyone has a journey, and you will never appreciate that journey until you have accomplished some certain goals in your life. So for today we'll be having an actor from the Nigerian movie industry. He's by the name Mr. Charles Etubiebe. Is an actor, the artistic director of Theatre Emissary International, and a registered member of the International Theatre Institute. A multi-medium craftsman. His credit for stage, film and television includes the Armenian International Theatre Institute, Prospero, I Open Eyes, Tram, 83, Steve Guga's 93 Days, for those of you who remember during what's the virus? Oh my God, why will I forget the name of this virus? I'm from Nigeria. That movie made a wave during that time, 93 Days. Dario Olaitan's Ojukokuro. African Magic's Jemeji Forbidden and Eneke Tatafo Headquarters Flat 3B. For those of you who are always watching Nigerian movies from Netflix, I'm sure you can relate to these names of movies and also the directors. In 2013, he was awarded the Best Male Actor prize at the Al Buga International Theatre Festival, Khartoum, Sudan. He won the award for the Best Supporting Actor at the 2018 Real-Time International Film Festival for his performance in Kunle No Dash, The Delivery Boy. I watched that movie, very interesting. Charles performed the one-man adaptation of the play 54 Silhouettes, written and directed by the African Oko at the 2018 NAPEST Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, the 2019 Lagos Theatre Festival in Nigeria, and the 2019 United Solo International Festival in the New York, where it won the award for the Best International Show. For those of you again who watch Netflix a lot, you will see this guy and you say, whoa, I remember him from this movie, like The Delivery Boy, Finding Hobby, The Lagos Big Boys. It's an honor from Possibilities with Esther to welcome Mr. Charles to this program. Mr. Charles.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Forgive me with my pronunciation, okay?
You're on point. You're on point.
I'm on point. It's a pleasure to have you here, really.
It's a pleasure to be here, Esther. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Thank you. So, what have I missed from who Charles is? If you can tell me a little bit more from what I have missed from your introduction.
You haven't missed a lot. You're right on the mark. I'm an actor. I'm a stage, TV, and film actor. I'm also the artistic director of Theatre Emissary International, like you said, which is a Nigerian theatre company which focuses on using theatre to address social issues and bring about change. We're also we also have a research hub, and we're also very interested in also artist welfare. So what we do is we look for opportunities international opportunities for Nigerian artists, and then make that connection between them and those opportunities. Wow. Like I said, we're also affiliated to the International Theatre Institute, which is like the performance arm of UNESCO. So we try our best to link Nigerian artists to those opportunities.
Wow, that's awesome. That's
Yes.
awesome. And Mr. Charles, you have achieved so much in your career, both the movie and music. And this brought to my second question: how was growing up like for you?
Growing up for me was very interesting. I grew up in a very big household, and also the city where I grew up in is one of those places where everybody knows everybody. So you were brought up with the mindset of being, very communal, very cordial, very respectful. Um, yeah, and then also to, being very respectful to your friends, your families, your elders, especially, being fair, learning how to be fair. And also, it's a place where, like I said, everybody knew everybody, so there was really no reason for anybody to feel, extraordinary or above, have an overestimation of yourself. So
Yeah.
it was quite interesting growing up in Jos.
Wow. Oh, Jaws. So that's my city. Aha.
Uh, well,
That's my city. Okay. So, talking about your career before we go deep into it, was that your childhood passion? You
yes,
saw
yes, for
yourself
me,
becoming a movie, and then, or you studied medical, and somehow, the environment changed you, and then you're like, "Ah, let's go into movies."
no, no, no. So, my if you ask my mom, she would tell you that by the time I was 6, everybody already knew I was going to become an actor because
Yeah.
I wouldn't shut up about wanting to be an actor. And
Imagine.
I used to watch movies back then, and I used to wonder. I'm like, I always said to myself, I want to do that, you know.
Yeah.
And then I remember when I was in secondary school, high school, my there was this show called Night of a Thousand Laughs. It was a comedy show. I remember this guy, Basket Mouth. I was very intrigued by him. Like, he was a stand-up comedian, but I was very intrigued by him, how he would, tell jokes and do stuff like that. And I always remember, remembering and then cramming those jokes and then, telling them to my uncles, my aunties, and anybody who cared to listen. And I
Yeah.
had one of my aunties who I spoke to one time, and she said, you make a really good actor. I said, yeah, I think I want to do that as well.
Yeah.
And I said, so what do actors study in the university? And she said, you'd have to study theater arts or film or stuff like that. And I said, okay, definitely, that's what I'm going to do. I said, but what do I do in secondary school? And she said, well, make sure you channel all your energies to the arts. So that's what I did. When I got to GS3, got to a point, when I got to my third year in secondary school, high school,
Yeah.
I had to, choose where I was going to. Did that, went to the arts, got into the university, studied theater and film arts, and got trained. 4 years, finished that, and then moved to Lagos to start pursuing my acting.
Wow. Was there any part of you that you wanted to become a comedian since that was your first influence, like comedy, or your movie started with comedy, or something?
No. Well, you see, comedy is very hard.
Uh,
I knew I wanted to be an actor. Comedy, however, I didn't think I have the materials or I don't think I've explored that part of me to say I wanted to do comedy. Music, however, was the thing I wanted to pursue, but I felt like it was either music or acting at some point. But I tried to tell myself, you're an actor first.
an actor.
You're trained, you're an actor first before you're anything else.
Yeah. By the way, when I listened to your song, there was this competition you had for music. I was like, okay, this guy is a movie actor and now he's into music. Like, is the career changing to music? But the amazing part of it is that you were so good. Like, you had this voice that I never thought
Okay.
you can actually sing. So would
Thank
you, you know that acting is what you love. So what do you do with the music? Do you use it in the bathroom, or you use it in the, how does music come into you apart from the movie? I just want to shift a little bit.
I do love singing, but I think that if you want to do anything professionally, one thing you cannot underestimate is the pace of training. That's one thing I always said. And for music, I know how to. I feel I know how to sing. I tell people everywhere I go that I'm an award-winning bathroom singer. So like, but then like I think that I have to go for. I have to know,
Yeah.
get some training. Want to follow me. professionally. I need to go for some training.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you on that, because I think we have lots of people are on the wrong path just because they can sing, but they don't know they are, maybe they might be really better in the other aspect which they do ignore a lot. Like
Exactly.
everybody, if you just do a singing, yes, your music, your voice is good, become a musician, and then they begin to frustrate themselves, following the path, wasting time on that. I was going through your Facebook page and I saw 10 years, 10 years kind of, will I say appreciation or kind of your journey. And this gave me the wondering, like, can you tell us, what can you say about this? What was your motivation moving towards in these 10 years?
For me, like I said, I always wanted to be an actor, and in 2011, I had just finished my university program at the University of Jos, and I was planning to move to Lagos to become an actor. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I had just one uncle here in Lagos who lived here, who I was coming to live with. But then, as far as acting was concerned, I didn't know anybody to connect me to, so places where I go for auditions and learn. But for me, I had the mindset that there are people who have moved to this city, which is Lagos. And if you know anything about Lagos, it is one of the it is the craziest city to move to in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Lagos is one of the cities with the largest population, with the smallest landmass.
Yeah.
It's one of the cities that everybody's constantly on the move, and it's also the entertainment capital of Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
I dare say even West Africa. So for me, I knew that this is where I was supposed to come to. But the idea was me coming here. What was I going to? How was I going to find my way?
Mm-hmm.
And I think at that point in time, when I needed to just like go introspective and then just be very spiritual about myself and my journey, ask myself, what do I really want? And then I decided that, okay, so if I'm going to be an actor first, then I'm going to chase opportunities that are going to lead me towards that goal, which is acting. So I did that. I began to look for people, go to places where I heard that actors would be, meet people who I felt were actors, look for the kind of act, because there's also a thing about the group, the group that you find yourself in.
Agreed.
If you do, yes, because you might meet 10 people who are doing the same thing, but there are set people who are doing that thing the way you want to do it. And then what you do is you tailor your life to those people so that you can now follow their own examples and then take life towards the goals that they have achieved, which is why people have mentors.
Yeah.
So yeah, for these 10 years, that's what the journey was about. Becoming an actor in Lagos, not just one that will come and survive and struggle, but one who will thrive. I had the mindset that Lagos, at the end of as I go, was going to get to a point where Lagos will celebrate me as one of the actors, the most sought after actors here. But also too, I decided that I also had to be extremely disciplined. I also had to make sure that I kept on reading, kept on learning, kept on redefining myself, and I should say the rest is history. This is where we are today, 10 years after.
The rest
Thank God
history.
for everything that happened.
Seriously, I love the last words you said. Thank God for everything that happened. These are the things that most people don't want to. They focus on the aspect of the problem and not being able to see the outcome that comes out of the problem. Okay, so from the summary you have said so far, what is that most challenging thing that you faced in Lagos?
For me, one of the most challenging things I found here in Lagos is actually, I would say, settling down in Lagos. You need to understand that one of the biggest problems here in Lagos is the accommodation problem. And when you live in a city like this, to get a place to stay and to actually settle down, to move around, you need to get a place that you're more comfortable with, and then a place you can call home. I mean, I was here for maybe I said, I moved and I was living with my uncle, which was comfortable. He had his own place and everything. It was comfortable to live. But then it gets to a point where you need to grow into your own space. And that for me was, and it's not just that, because it also affects everything about your mindset.
Yeah.
When you live by yourself, you understand that at this point I am on my own. I have jumped into the deep end. I have to do my best to make sure that I have to make ends meet. I think that's the point where you become an adult.
Yeah.
When you realize that you have to make ends meet, and this is, it's either sink or swim. I decided that I'm going to swim. That for me was one of the hardest things here, because making that decision, moving out on my own and deciding that I'm going to swim from.
Wow. Either swim or sink, which brings about challenges and change. And that's what our youth don't like, change. Comfort zone. They like to stay in the comfort zone and still expect things to go good. I don't think you have to keep moving. Yeah, you have to keep moving. And before our commercial break, which is the second segment, I would like to ask this question. What is the definition of success to you?
My definition of success is the steady realization of a worthy ideal. The steady realization of a worthy ideal or a worthy goal. So, for example, if you say to yourself, I am going to become a school teacher, and you take active steps to become a school teacher, you're already a success, because you are in the process of becoming that, and you will become that. If you say to yourself, I'm going to become a mother and a housewife, that's what you have decided to become, and you take active steps to become that, I believe that you are a success. If you say to yourself, I'm going to become a footballer, and you take active steps, you're training every day, you wake up early, you go out, you train yourself, you go to matches where coaches will select you. You keep on keeping yourself at the top range just to get. Eventually, you will get there. But you see, the process of getting there, that is what I determine. That is what I call success. The steady realization of a worthy goal. That is success.
A steady realization of a steady goal.
Of a worthy goal.
For worthy goal. That's very powerful. Thank you so much, Mr. Charles. And this is our second segment. We'll be going on a commercial break, and we will be right back to go deep into your mindset, because I am willing to learn from this steady process. I'll complete the sentence after the commercial break. See you guys later. Hello again, and welcome back to the second segment of Possibilities with Esther. I am here with a special guest, an actor, a celebrity from Nigeria, Nollywood industry. He has gone international as well. And he has been talking to us about his journey so far, the challenges and all that, how he started changing position, changing destination, and all that. And now we still bringing him back so that we can hear and eat up from his mindset. Mr. Charles, are you there with us?
I am here.
Okay.
Thank you very much for having me once again.
Yeah, thank you for staying with us. I would like to ask this question to you is, when people want to travel or people have a career in their lives, the major thing that stops most of us are family and friends, loved ones. And because they are our loved ones, we always feel whatever they say is the best advice, is the best decision, which I'm sure it has led so many people into the wrong path, because it deprived them from listening to their inner heart and their instincts. For you, what particular advice would you say you are grateful you never taken from loved ones?
I think the one advice I'm grateful I never adhered to was, well, two actually. The first one was to have studied law.
That
My dad was
terrible.
The pharmacist and the lawyer, and right from when I was young, he'd like to have. He's somebody who I always sit down and have conversations with, like even at the age of 14. He'd bring me into conversations with his friends.
Wow.
And, I'd sit and talk, and he always said, oh, you present very well. Your arguments are very, spot on. You should be a lawyer. And then I had done what you may call it, JAM. And I had gotten the scores that would have allowed me to have actually studied law. But, I knew at that point that I wanted to be an actor, and I decided to follow that, full on. And then the second advice I'm glad I did not take was when, once again, my parents wanted to go into the civil service. Here.
Oh, okay.
I realized when that I had just finished school and I was in Lagos, and I was traveling to Lagos, to Kaduna, to Abuja, to different places auditioning, trying to get roles, different places. And my dad called me one time and said, a rolling stone gathers no moss, you need to settle down. And I was like, ouch. That was painful. But then again, I understood where that came from. It's from a place of care.
Yeah.
Because you found also that traveling to all these places and I wasn't earning money, that meant at that point that I needed to call home and say, okay, I need money for this. Okay, I need money for that. Okay, I need money to travel here because of this opportunity. Oh, I got this opportunity by the, And all that time, I'm glad that as much as they advised me from a place of care, I understood that my destiny, the dream for my life, God put that in my heart. He didn't put that in anybody else's heart. So while I could see where I was going, they couldn't see it until it began to manifest. So one time, my dad was saying, he said this rolling moss thing in front of his friends. I was sitting with some of his friends back home. I'd gone to visit, and he was saying this, my son is traveling all over the place. He wants to be an actor. I wish he'd settle down, And one of his friends was like, do you think he knows what he's doing? Do you think he's one of those people who understands his craft? And my dad says yes. He said, then leave him alone. Give him time. He gets his shot in life and he will get to where he's supposed to be. And my dad was like, I want it to happen quickly.
Speaking of African parents, it's just about the economy, the system, the neighbors, the friends, and all that. It just joined everything.
Old and come back home and still be depending on them. Yes. So of course they want to make the best decisions that will make you, progress in life. But then I remember the first day I did something that was on TV, and then my mom called me and said, "What's going on? I just saw this advert for a film coming out. Was that you I saw?" I said, "Yes, it was me." She said, "Oh my God, that's so cool." And then the day was going to come on. My dad was in the club, this athletic club, where we were drinking the other day with some of his friends.
Yeah. And
while we were there, he told them, change the channel to that channel. And then they were watching, the show came on, and they were watching it. And my dad, according to what my dad was sitting there shaking his head like this.
That's my son.
Thank you. And his friend
That's my son.
Didn't I?
Yeah, didn't I tell you? If it was bad, he would have told your mom to, come and see your son. No.
Exactly. But then I remember my dad called me that night and said, well done, you have made us proud.
Wow.
That is going to be stepping stone.
That's a huge motivation.
A huge motivation and a huge prayer.
Yeah.
And for me, that night I cried because it felt like all this time, the years I had put in had begun to finally pay off. And so far, it's been that way, it's been that way, it's been that way. Now I understand where I'm going to. So I'm thankful that I did not study law, and I'm thankful I didn't go into the the civil service.
Civil service, yeah.
So that would have been big mistakes. And I also have people in your life who understand your dream.
Yeah.
Share your dream, but only with people who are going to encourage you on that path. I remember telling my best friend at the time when I was going to go to the civil service, I said, I'm going to go and get a job. He's like, you will regret it for the rest of your life. I know you. You are an actor, you are an artist, you are creative. You cannot sit in one place for too long. You are restless, and that is your gift.
Wow. I'm grateful. We're grateful that you have that person in your life. Yes. Seeing you now. What was the huge sacrifice you had to take?
Leaving home. Leaving home.
Loved ones, comfort.
Yes. At that point, it was. I knew I couldn't stay at home because there was really nothing for me to do there, and I knew I had to move forward. So it was like you jumping in the middle of the ocean. It's like paddling to the middle of the ocean and then breaking your paddle and saying, "I'm not going back. I must always go front." That was one of the biggest sacrifices I've ever made, to say I was going to do that, but also to, yeah, yeah.
Was there particular, or let me say now, what's your greatest fear in this career that you have already reached to a ladder? Do you have a particular fear that you think if it happens, you might not get yourself back on the top again?
Well, my biggest fear right now is that I get to a point where I become comfortable.
That's awesome.
Where I become comfortable with the work that I'm doing. Because it happened to me in 2018, where there's this thing you call when you plateau, when you get to a point where you just feel like you're going in one straight line. There's no up, there's no down, you're just going this one straight line. And that happened to me at one of the best times of my career, because I had just gotten this job with this TV channel called African Magic. Every year, they create 2 TV series every year. Each one is 260 episodes. So that is steady work for it. That is an actor's heaven. Everybody, and when I say everybody, in Lagos, in Nigeria, when the auditions opened, people came from Ghana to audition. People came from all over the country to audition. But to be selected as one of the few who was also selected to play lead, that was amazing for me. But then again, it's steady work. Every month you're working, coming month in, month out, day in, day out, week in, week out. It's steady work and you're doing what you love. But then I plateaued. I got to a point where it became very monotonous and very boring. I needed to give myself shock therapy. I needed to do something to make me, enjoy this. Because for me, if it's challenging, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Anything will be challenging, I enjoy it. The fear of not knowing the outcome, but also the fulfillment when it turns out right.
Yeah.
So for me, I needed shock therapy. So what I did that was when 54 Silhouettes came into play again. We had done it in 2020. So I called the writer and I said, there's a festival going on in Brazil and we've been invited and I want to perform it there. Could you write this play into a one-man play? Now, understand that 54 Silhouettes is a 5-man cast. There are 5 people in the play.
Yeah, I saw it. You're performing different characters in one, like 5 different characters. And I wonder how you manipulated to do all this. That's art.
Thank you. And that was the challenge that I needed to wake me up from that my comfort zone, which happened. Because I would wake up by, say, 4 o'clock, rehearse till like 6, go to work throughout the day, come back by 8. I stopped paying for my, my TV subscriptions. I stopped everything. I threw myself into it. And by the grace of God, it turned out to be a success. We performed in Brazil. We performed at Lagos Theatre Festival. We performed in New York, which won the prize for Best International Performance there. So at the end of the day, it was that challenge. And since then, I always make sure not to get comfortable, because that comfort,
it breaks you down. As a certified creative coach, I could say this to you and our audience. There's something we call creativity block, which is exactly what you experience. You feel this is what you love doing. This is all you have been doing, and you are so certain about it. But then at a point in time, everything becomes parallel. Like nothing is going up, nothing is going down. You become even bored. You feel so boring. Like, am I even doing the right thing? Most people, that's the time they give up. And that's when all the advices of family, loved ones begin to come in. We said this, we told you this. Should I go back to what they said? What if they were right? And all those things. But you continue paddling. You continued. And this is where you are. That's very awesome. Please, can you give the audience an advice? Those inspiring people, youth who are looking up to becoming a position that you are, like actors in the media, in the movie, just an advice to them.
I think what's most important is you need to understand who you are first of all. That's a very broad statement, but here's what I'm trying to say. You need to ask yourself questions. What are the things that make you happy? Because I'll tell you something for free, that in this life, a lot of things, especially during this pandemic, we got to find out that we didn't need a lot of things. There are very few things that actually do make you happy.
Yeah.
Find out one of those things, who you are as a person, and what are the things that make you happy. What are the things you can do, work you can do that makes you happy. Things that when you are woken up at night and they say, come and do this thing, you are excited to do it. You don't feel like they've interrupted your sleep. Find out what those things are. Find out people who have done those things and are earning from it. And find out the value that they are giving. Because at the end of the day, it's all about value. Difference between us is, I mean, everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants to, as we call it here, blow. Want to become famous and get that money. But at the end of the day, the only people who make money work in a minute.
Yeah.
The rest of us, you have to earn money.
You have to.
And you earn money by creating value.
Yeah. That's what most are missing.
Exactly. That's what it is that you love doing. Find out people who have created that into value, who have transformed that into value. Begin to create the value, and you begin to see that people will pay you for doing what you enjoy doing.
True. Awesome.
I heard somebody said one time that if you turn your hobby into a career, you will never work another day in your life.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's so awesome. Please, can you tell us your definition of possibilities? You know, this program is all about possibilities. What is your definition for possibilities?
My definition of possibilities would be the ability to see what is possible. The ability to see, because it's one thing to know that something is there, but it's another thing to see it. Once you can see what nobody can see, it's there in the unseen realm. But because you have envisioned it, you can see it out and make it a reality. And the rest of us will say, oh, that was possible.
That was possible. True. Thank you so much, Charles. Last word for NTR TV. NTR TV is the only station in Turkey that broadcasts in 42 African countries. And yes, and it broadcasts in English and French. If you have any word to tell us about NTR TV from this program, I will be happy.
It's an absolute honor. It's an absolute pleasure to have been interviewed on this show. Esther, you know what our history is.
Yes.
How far I followed your journey.
Yeah.
And I feel that it's such a pleasure to be here with you, such a pleasure to be part of, because by being on this interview, I'm also part of your story too, as well.
Of course.
Such a pleasure to be hosted here on this show on this platform. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to have you. I'm telling you, it's a history come true, because I'm so honored. I'm very, very honored to have you on my program, Charles. Really, really happy. Do not forget, again, we would like to have you here when you still elevate more, okay?
Definitely. In person next time.
Inshallah. Turkish people say inshallah. So, Tamam, thank you so much, and hope to have you again next time. You have a wonderful day. Okay, people, we are coming to the end of this program. This is the part that I don't want to stop, because that's when I am really, really, all the ideas are coming out from our guest mind, and you feel like it's like you are eating your favorite. My favorite is suya. When I'm eating suya, I feel like everything in my life is possible. That's the point. And then time will just finish like, no. But I want to believe that we have learned a lot from Mr. Charles. A lot. He has said a lot, that the aim of this program is to make sure that even if it is one thing, should connect to one person, and I hope that person should be you watching on this program. Stay tuned as Possibilities with Esther keeps bringing inspiring people that will motivate us and to keep up moving. As we have said, that it is not enough just to plan, because challenges will come, creativity block will come, bad advices will come, challenges will come, but the only thing that will keep you moving, if you know everything is possible from your mindset. Keep watching NTR TV and stay tuned on Possibilities with Esther again next week. Have a wonderful, possible life and possible day. Goodbye.